Hi, Cancer, and welcome to your July Tarot Horoscope. So, most importantly, happy birthday to all of you whose birthdays this month, and for those of you who just had your birthday in June, happy birthday. And yeah, we're just going to see what. There, that card jumped out. We got a card for you for July. So, the first 2/3 of July is Cancer season, and then towards the end, we're going to be rolling into Leo season. And the card we have for you today is the Seven of Wands reversed. So this is, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. 7 of Wands reversed. This is the way it looks the right way up. So we have these wands kind of overlaid across the picture, kind of like a ladder. And we have these different hands that are kind of reaching towards them. And in the background, we have a bunch of people. They're kind of going about a bunch of scenes, like kind of labor scenes, working hard in the background. We have a little flame candle here and this one little figure kind of standing on a little swirly thing with a big crutch. And it came out upside down like that. So we're going to see what the Seven of Wands has for you this month. Okay, Seven of Wands, a new level. It's like a birthday, you just leveled up. A new level. This card often appears to be rather puzzling. It is all about the power of our actions. In the background, we see scenes from rural life in the olden days. They represent our life's journey with its many stages that sometimes repeat themselves at a higher level. Articulated at an angle against this background, 7 wands and 4 arms and hands can be seen. Hands and arms symbolize what and how we appreciate and handle things. This card indicates openness and reserve, the palms of our hands as well as the outside and similarly of our actions. Our handicaps, that word hand again, can be identified in the image as the hand with the protuberance and the fingerless hand, the first and second hands from the top. When arms and wands lie across our life's journey, they indicate that we do not have to accept what is being handed to us. We are being encouraged to march to the sound of our own tune and shine our own light. Yet we are warned not to put up any unnecessary resistance towards life. The thin blue figure on the right shows that we all possess roots that reach deep into the earth. See the spiral at the foot of the blue figure. We possess tools that enable us to reach for the stars. See the crutch or pincers that elongate the right hand of the figure. We are always on an evolutionary journey. We constantly learn to deal with complex tasks and handle our energies. The 7 wands arranged one above the other represent a ladder with 7 rungs. A Jacob's ladder, which bridges the gap between heaven and earth, between our wishes and reality. Practical advice. All existing facts can be changed by your actions, but doing just for the sake of doing and morbid ambition will only harm you. It is of utmost importance to reach a new level and to use your power wisely and in a relaxed manner. Okay, so this was an interesting one. There's a lot of rhetoric in different spiritual communities that really talks about leveling up, like getting to the next level and upgrades, and it just kind of feels like a video game, like or like a repetition of the expectation of the grind or hustle culture that we have in our society, that like if you're not improving, if you're not getting to the next level, something's wrong with you. Like you should always be striving and working. And I don't really like that. I don't think that that's reflected in reality. I think that nature goes in cycles, and there is growth cycles, and there is death cycles and rest cycles, and there's the time to be at each level or each, and I don't even like the word level, like at each place before you move on to the next one. And so this card is even, yes, it's talking about levels, but it also talks about how our life's journey often repeats itself. So it's like it's a staircase, but it's like kind of like an Escher staircase, like it's a spiral, like you're going to be climbing to the next level, and then as you move forward, you're going to find yourself spiraling kind of back to situations you've already come across, but with new insights and with new experiences. So it's not like this forever going to the top sort of thing, or like I feel like that's an idea that, you know, it's kind of rooted in concepts of like trying to escape the body, like that we're trying to transcend out of our earthly bodies into heaven, like this focus on duality of matter and spirit being separate. And I don't think that that's what this is necessarily talking about. Like it's not, you know, that you're trying to upgrade and then leave your lively situation, or that you're somehow going to graduate away from all your problems. It's not like that. And I don't, so there's a more organic component to it, and it's a lot more about a journey and a life cycle. And even talking about like spirals and circles, we're seeing with this little figure invited to think about our roots, and thinking of the spiral of cycles as we also reach forward. So it's this idea of the ladder as a bridge that connecting heaven and earth, not escaping earth to heaven. It's a conduit that our roots are still present in the earth, like a big tree roots in the earth that reaches for heaven. It doesn't uproot its roots and fly into the sky. Like that's we're as we reach higher, we are also reaching deeper, and that is going to be like a helpful image for you, Cancer, in this Cancer season, because Cancer is the roots part of the tree. It's all about the nutrition, the lineage, the ancestry, the stability and the safe structure that allows us then to reach forward and achieve and to get to the next level, because we have a foundation of knowing where we've come from. Like you can't climb a ladder if it's not like really firmly on the ground. If it's tippy or all that, the higher up you go, the more likely you are to fall. So the roots of where we have come from is absolutely critical for any sort of healthy evolution, and we're still always going to be connected to that place. So you could even look at these 7 wands if you engage in energy centers or chakra systems, like the 7 kind of chakras as they go from connecting in the earth up to our transcendence. But they're all working in the same system. Our feet and our head are all needed. We're not trying to be ahead. We wouldn't be able to go anywhere without our feet. So we're not trying to escape our past. We're trying to grow with it and take that potential and build it to a next level that includes all the parts of it, all of the past. So this is, that there's, but as we're climbing, there's also this invitation that like, there's not just one path, like there's not just one ladder. Just because life seems, or culture seems, or society seems to tell you this is the ladder, this is the way to evolve, this is the rung, this is the grind, this is what you have to do, this step comes after that step, and this is the order. You don't have to take that. If just because it was handed to you, you can say, no, I'd like another one. No, actually, I don't think this is the only way to go. Maybe I want to climb a rope. Maybe I want to climb a tree. Maybe I don't want your little ladder. Maybe I've got a different way to evolve. Maybe I'm going to sit on this step and really think about where I've come from while everybody else is climbing the ladder, because I'm going to make sure my ladder is stable. By the time I'm ready to climb, I don't want it to tip over. Like, you don't have to follow the, like this, all these people kind of toiling away and grinding at their labor. Like, you can take a stop and say, I don't know. I think I'm going to do it different. I don't think, you only need to climb to, you should be excited to be doing the next step, because it feels like that's what's important on your personal next stage of evolution, not as this habit or expectation or like, oh, guess I'll do it. Everybody else seems to be doing it. I've been told there's something waiting for me at the top, so I guess I'll go. Like, that is what we're trying to get away from. So there's, you do get a good amount of agency for yourself, and you want to try to maintain that agency so that you're not stressed out by other people, like hustling on their ladders. Maybe that's their journey and they want to hustle. Maybe they're just sort of trapped in kind of the expectation of the rat race. You get to make your own call. You get to nurture yourself. You get to like really root in, and then with those healthy roots, you get to reach up to whatever your particular goals are. And it's your birthday. This is a great time to stop and assess and say, wow, I've just gone up another step. I've just gone a whole another year around. What do I want this next year to be? Maybe I want to take time before I look to the next step of my next year ahead. Maybe I want to look at the roots and really see what I accomplished this year. Do I feel stable? Do I feel like I need some rest? Like, how did this year go? This is a really like a natural time to reflect and gather yourself for the next stage of the journey. So I think that, really focusing on those roots and that kind of spiral, the spiral of roots at this figure, where you've come from, is going to be a really great focus during your birthday season and Cancer season. And then at the end of the month, when we roll on to Leo time, it's like, okay, now you're ready. You've kind of get to make a decision of what your next step is. Whether your next step is another rung on the ladder, whether your next step is to say, F this ladder, I'm going to go up somewhere else, or whether it's to say, actually, I have deserved a rest. I am going to stay here. I am going to just really enjoy my root system. I'm going to just be for a minute. I'm going to enjoy this moment in my life and not have to rush to the next one. That's a great choice. And you could sit in that Leo expression of, hey everybody, this is what I'm doing. And one of the great gifts of Leo is to be an example for people who didn't know there was another option. So when you stand in a Leo power and you say, I'm willing to be seen with whatever it is that you're doing, there's some people who really need a different idea, who really need somebody else to look at. It doesn't have to be suddenly that you become their role model. It doesn't even mean you have to meet them. You may never even know the people that see you, and it's a light bulb for them, and they say, I had no idea you could do that. And that transforms their adventure on their ladder. So it takes a lot of courage to be seen, because it's also not something you always get the validation from. You don't know what will be done with the sight of you. You don't know what you will inspire in other people. Sometimes you might get some of that feedback back, and that might be excellent. Sometimes you might get negative feedback, and then you feel like you shouldn't be seen because somebody didn't have a good time. But you may not see the scores of other people that were just so happy that you turned the light on yourself for a minute so they could see what you were doing, and then they could port that into their life and be inspired. So that's the suggestion for this month. You can luxuriate in your birthday, examine the level that you're at, rest up, and then get a sense of what it is that you want for this next chapter, whether that's active or restful, and then don't be afraid to let people see it, and have that courage to turn up that little candle on your experience and be seen. So best of luck, Cancer. Happy birthday, and I will see you next month.